Alright, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of The Inside Perspective. I got my gang here with me. Rossi Pooh, I know y'all remember her from episode 3.
Take 2.
No facts. But yeah, Rossi Pooh to me, Rosslin to y'all. Or whatever you prefer, friend. I'm sorry, let me give my friend the time to introduce herself.
What's up, y'all? I would say they can call me Rosslin. Like,
okay. So we got that. But yeah, we outside in the back in the nature. So I'm still learning. Okay, now the wind has no need to be doing all this now that we started talking. I'm gonna just take that as a sign from the universe that we're doing the right thing right now.
No floaties in my drink.
No facts, nothing in the drink. But yeah, so I hit Rosslin up today. And the topic that I wanted to talk about is love. And the reason why I hit Rosslin is because she loves love. So we're lover girls, okay? Real heavy lover girls, all right?
The only thing I thought of was simp.
Big simps. But it's, and also the reason why I asked Ross is because her and I have different interpretations of how we view love and how we act in love with other people. So I feel like the first question that I kind of have for us is, what is love and how will we define love? And do we... The wind has no business to be doing this right now. Like, I just want to record. Please. And also in the sense of breaking it down, I guess, as quickly as possible between friendships, relationships, parents, family, and... Did I say relationships already? Okay, yeah. So yeah, friendships, so platonic love, romantic love, familiar love, and friendship love. That's a big question.
Yeah. You want to go first on that?
Okay, yeah. I'll go first. Okay, so for me, love. Woo. Okay. Love for me, and I need y'all to bear with me on this topic because I don't really like talking about my feelings too much. But I'm trying to learn how to communicate properly. But it takes me a little second to get all my thoughts together. So please bear with me if I have random pauses as I'm trying to get my mind together. But I feel like for me, love is action. Love can trigger joy. I'm just doing it this way because I gotta shrink it down. Love to me is like, so my love language is like acts of service and how I want to be loved in that, or how I love in that essence is like, I want to make your day easier. So if that's me packing your lunch, and that's even for friends. I'm not even just talking about romantic relationship, or like even my mom. If I know that my mom has like this, that, and the third to do, and it would help her out if I rearrange the cars in the driveway so she can get out easier. Like, that's something that I'm gonna do for her. Yeah. Is that enough to kind of just start?
Just hearing you say that, like, I agree. Love is like all of those things, but like, I don't know why my mind started thinking about love is like, love is disappointment.
Yes.
Because like, I'm really over here thinking like, dang, love is like such a beautiful thing. And like, I mess with love. I was about to say something. I mess with love heavy. Yeah. But then I also know like with loving individuals, it comes with like the biggest disappointments ever. Just because like with love comes like a certain level of like expectation and like,
oh,
you know, we humans, we mess up.
Expectations in love.
Yeah, we mess up. So it'll be like, and the people you love the most be the ones that hurt you the most. Cause I love you. Like, so yeah. I'm just thinking like love just comes with so many like positives, but then there's also like, oddly enough, this sense of like, I don't want to call it a negative, but this sense of humanness with it.
Because humans make mistakes.
Yeah.
And I feel like because we have, so I feel like growing up, we were taught that the idea of love is like pure bliss and never anything happening wrong or bad.
Just like, what's her name? What's the little princesses yours?
The Disney princesses?
Yeah, them.
Oh yeah,
they be teaching you like you just gonna find your knight in shining armor, you gonna get married, and life just gonna be peaches and cream.
And you'll never be disappointed again. And it's like you said, there is disappointment in love. And for me, I had to learn that somebody being disappointed doesn't mean that I'm disappointing.
Yeah.
Because I used to think, like, if I don't give the correct answer to this person that I'm sharing love with, that they're going to stop loving me. Right. Because I'm not being the idealistic version that they have of me in their mind.
And see, that is where and this is so left, but it's not left, because we talked about this before. But that's where I draw from unconditional love, is the sense of, like, even through your disappointment, depending on what your disappointment might be.
Right.
Through your disappointments, I'm still able to love you through that. Like, that's how I know I really love you, because even when you hurt me, all I think about is, like, the betterment of you. Crazy.
Because I remember we had talked about this, and it was the idea of, is love actually unconditional, or do we be tolerating bullshit?
Yeah. And I think a lot of times some of these people, y'all
be tolerating let me say y'all. We.
Because we in a collective.
Because we in a collective, we be tolerating bullshit. And and then even to go further on that point, because I even asked my coworkers today, like, how do you know when you're in love?
That's what, bro, I be trying to ask people that, because I be like, when I'm near, I'm near. When I'm not, I really be like, what was it?
You kind of know. And I also had to come to the idea of, like, recently I've come to, wow, I am worthy of love.
Right.
Because for so long, I just settled for the love that people were willing to give me. And I didn't have a standard of, like, no, this is what I expect if you say that you love me.
Right. Right.
And for a lot of people, if you would say that, they would say, oh, you're ungrateful, or like you don't know what you're talking about, or this is that and the third. No, I know the type of love that I want, and I'm not settling for that. And if you can't bring that, that's fine. You're not a bad person.
Yeah,
I don't hate you. You're just not for me. That's it.
And, like, I hate that, because, like, I feel like I'm gonna retract that statement before I even say it. I feel like there's before I say that, I feel like there's just this, like, even when I look at, like, my parents and their generation, there's just, like, I don't want to say they settle, but, like, me seeing some things that I've seen in my life, I'm just like, I don't want that.
Like, yes,
that can't be what love is for me. Like, I can't accept that.
Yes. And what I have to say about that is, I feel like a lot of our parents were escaping trauma through love, and therefore settled for their idealized version of it, not realizing what they were actually getting themselves into. Right. So, like, I know a lot of people from, like, our parents' generation, like, I mean, a lot of people have traumatic homes, but like, because they had traumatic homes, it was like, let me just find a relationship to get out of that, but never really giving themselves the opportunity to heal from what happened from those moments in the home, in order to grow in a more positive light in love.
And little do we know, we just carrying on that generational curse.
And you're just carrying on the generational curse. Yes.
You just be repeating the cycle. And I'm just like, I'm gonna be the one to break it.
I'm breaking it.
Because, no, man, that ain't how...
I don't want love like that.
I'm sorry, you gotta come correct, because I feel like my partner should be expecting me, or I shouldn't even just say my partner. The individual I'm loving should be expecting me to come correct. Absolutely. Just as I should be expecting you to come correct. Yeah, like, we can't meet each other there. Yeah, you gotta be able to hold. You gotta be able to hold me accountable in love. Yeah, and you have to do it with love. Like, don't come at me on no disrespectful shit because your feelings are hurt. Like, I'm going to acknowledge the fact that your feelings are hurt by something that I've done, but don't come on me like I'm, like, literally trying to hurt you. Right. Like, it wasn't my intent. I'm a human. I make mistakes. Let's talk about this and figure out the best way to go about it. But if you're coming at me as if I've purposefully tried to hurt you or break you, knowing that I'm a person that loves you, it's time to unpack that. Like, where's all that coming from? We need to talk about that part. And then for me, that's the, like, because for me, I don't think people understand is, like, because it makes a lot of sense to me that the people that you love the most, because those are normally people that are closest to you, they know the things in which, like, they know the ways in which you would be hurt. And, like, the way I said that out loud, it don't sound right. But like, I'm with you. Yeah. But so look, I'm like, here. Because you know, like, dang, now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, dang, because people who don't really know me wouldn't know. So when they hurt me, it ain't nothing. But if you never communicate that. Yeah, that's my thing. And, like, that's where our last conversation, where you got to communicate. And that's what I'm learning is, like, because I learned this not recently, but I just had a situation recently. I ain't gonna connect this situation to love now, but situation recently where I was like, oh, I'm gonna just dip. And I was like, when I really sat back and thought about it, I was like, dang, but like, I'm not allowing a person the opportunity to even have the potential to love me or for me to love them if I'm not even going to communicate like in the ways in which they hurt. Yeah, like what I need from you to feel that love. Like,
right. And I think a lot of us need to ask, like, I don't know what the fuck that was, but I feel like a bug just hit my But I think we need to understand like what makes you feel loved.
Yeah.
And if you understand that as a person, you'll be able to communicate that to a partner. And wow, love and communication.
Hand in hand.
Like literally just together. 'Cause for me, I feel like the way in which how can I put this? The way in which I've been conducting myself in love, and not like saying I'm in love with somebody, but I mean like literally in the action of love, has been to solely appease the only person. And I like negate everything almost about myself to make them feel wholly loved. And that's how I conducted myself. Look, girl. And that's how I felt like I was calling that love.
Right.
And it really wasn't. It was me being of service to someone, thinking that it was love, claiming it to be love. And that doesn't mean that I didn't have love for those people. Right. But it wasn't the love that I now require in a relationship because I found myself and I've learned to love myself. And that's...
I was going to say, let's get into self-love.
Self-love.
Because I feel like the reason why you may have fallen into that, and I only say this because I've fallen into that too, of being a person that just like, the way that I show love was just like, F myself, let me just give, and give. I feel like the reasoning for that was because I lacked the self-love. Like, I didn't know how to tell somebody, I need this. Like,
this is what I require.
I didn't know how to, like, if I wasn't truly in tune with me, in love with me, how can I expect you to be in tune with me, in love with me? And, like, I can't expect that, like...
Yes, and then I also think about the components of love, the things that go into love. Like, for me, if you love me, you need to support me.
Right.
And I need to feel supported by you. But I had to support myself.
Yeah.
And it came to boundaries. Boundaries. Like, and then there were some boundaries that I had to put in place to protect myself from me.
Right.
Like say
that part again, because I don't think they heard that.
There was but then literally there was boundaries that I had to put in place to protect myself from me, because I know that I didn't know how to just like it doesn't sound great, but not love somebody. Because I'm just like, but this is what they need. This is like they're a human that's going through all this stuff and all this trauma's happening to them, and I know I have all the love in the world to give to them, and I can make them better, I can make them happy, and da-da-da-da.
You was trying to be Captain Save a hoe.
I was Captain Save every hoe in the world.
Not calling nobody. But
no, facts, I was. It was like, and I wow, this is gonna sound bad. No, I'm not gonna put it like that. I'm not gonna put it like that. It was okay. So what I was going to say was. I still don't want to say it like that, but I feel like it's the only way that I can really get it out.
Hey.
I was a kennel for lost puppies.
Said I was collecting strays. God.
But I'm not mad at myself for that, because every person that I loved and gave love to, I was genuine, but also disingenuine in the fact that I was only loving them because I knew they needed it, not because I actually loved them.
You better come on, word. I ain't get that deep.
That's what I felt like I've been doing in love. And so now with me conducting myself in a completely different way, because I'm loving myself now, I'm understanding myself. Right. And that's why I was saying now I'm putting boundaries in place to protect myself. So I have to realize, like, if there's a person that is going through hella shit, and that's not saying I'm not going to be supporting them as a friend, but I need to recognize that I know myself.
Right.
Captain Saber.
And that was this morning where you had to acknowledge, look, I love you, friend.
I do, with all my heart.
But like, pause.
I can't take all that right now. I can't. Yeah.
Triggers.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So just to unpack what that just was for a little bit, there was a conversation that a friend and I were sharing, and they started sharing some things that were very triggering to me. And usually before conversations like that, I try to make sure that we have a conversation like, hey, are you mentally prepared for this type of conversation? But we didn't share that moment, and it kind of just jumped right into the conversation. And so I had to protect myself and put my boundaries in place to respect me, that like, look, friend, I love you and I'm here for you and I support you. But right now, this topic is very heavy for me. And I can't be of best support to you if I'm not even there for myself right now. So I had to like, look, like, and it was so hard for me to do, because it's not easy for people to open up and talk about their feelings. But I just felt so...
But you could flip that back on yourself. It's not easy. In the same way, it's not easy for that individual to open up about their trauma. It's not easy for me to like hear your trauma and you not knowing what trauma I have that comes with it.
And then
you
me
like
triggering from all that. And so like me like dealing with my triggers, or I'm trying not to say dealing with, addressing my triggers, while also trying to support my friend.
Right.
It was, and then I was extremely tired. Like mentally taxed. So like I didn't even have it in me to truly be of support. And so I'm like, I'm not gonna let you speak and say all this out, knowing that the most you may get from me is, oh.
Yeah.
Like that, I feel like that would have been worse than me not speaking to it and being like, hey, maybe, you know. And I definitely made sure that I created the space, like we can talk about this at another time, friend.
Right.
But like just not now.
Yeah, now that I know like when this other time come, I'll be better prepared,
mentally prepared in order to support you, because like I said, the goal is support, and so like that's support and so support and love within a friendship,
right?
And so because I love that friend, that's why I did what I did to make sure that I support them best. And now I've been learning to communicate more, and I realize how much easier it is to kind of navigate relationships, but it doesn't mean that there aren't disappointing moments,
right?
And that's been fucking me up, because I hate disappointing people. I hate, like, the people pleaser in me is like, no, how dare we not be there for them?
That's literally why
people
I don't open up to people.
Ooh.
Because it's not that, like, I don't trust people.
No. Because do you? It's okay. This is a safe space.
It's not that. It's not completely that I don't trust people. Like, I know there are like people in my life that if all hell break loose, I know they gonna be right here. Right. I know that.
Right.
But I don't allow people to be right here because I've been right there for other people, and I know how taxing that can be. But I do it out of the love that I have for people. But I understand how taxing that is on an individual.
So it makes me wonder, though, like, yes, doing it out of the love that we have for people, but then is it also a selfish thing within self with the people pleasing? Like, I almost want to be the person that's always there for you because I can be, and I know that I can be of support to you. Okay, and it makes me feel good.
Potentially could be selfish. But the thing is...
It's coming from a good place, but...
Yeah, but like... I don't know, because it don't even... It's like... I don't know. Because it comes from, like you said, it comes from a good place, and because I genuinely want to do it.
But it's like people-pleasing in you, so then it's also a toxic trait within you that is allowing you to love the person. Yeah, because
that know where, when I care about you, that kind of hits the dough. just I don't even know why I said that on here, because everybody wanted to take advantage of it. Like, you really, like, and I said, but, like, I know it. And I'm working. I gotten better at it. I will say that I have gotten a lot better. Yeah. College taught me to get a lot better at that.
College will teach you a lot when it comes to relationships. But you can break up with somebody and have to go take an exam. You can get broken up with. Yeah. You have to go take an exam, and then you fail that bitch. And then it's really, let me not get into that. But
man, College will teach you to take your L and keep pushing in this life.
And go grab another one. It's like, no.
No, for real though.
Facts, will grab another one.
And still graduate, so I don't care.
Graduate, period. And I feel like also in love that we have to realize that there are many fish in the sea. And although we would love to have that one motherfucking fish that's ours, that we think is ours, it's not. And we gotta learn to unhook that bitch and throw it back in the water.
That's where, like, cause here's my thing. What's that rod barely get in the water. My rod be trailing the surface, like
you be sitting there.
And I be sitting there like, no.
You be pulling it.
And then by the time it just be that one little, I don't know,
guppy. So
like, I don't even know. It be the one little, let's just call it colorful, bright one. I be like, oh, I go collect it up. I collect it up.
So what type of people do we choose,
girl,
to love, and why,
girl?
Yeah. Take a sip. I'm gonna take a sip.
But like, here's the thing though, and this is what I need to learn with love. It's okay to let it go.
Yeah.
It's okay. And like, I really had to learn that like, it's okay to like love somebody with a whole lot of distance in it.
Ooh, love you from the balcony.
There's a lot. Sometimes you got to do that with people. Cause like, man, some people I was just letting, like, I was giving them all this love.
Just
love. Cause I got amazing love, just so y'all know. All this love. I was giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, and they were taking. And it just got to a point where I was just like,
my cup's empty.
Not only is it empty, but like, I'm crying at night. You don't even see me crying
at night.
You don't, and it was just like, I had to. And the crazy thing was that it wasn't me who did that. It was a person I was loving that said, your love is just too much. And I said, ooh. I said, ooh. Everything I gave was too much.
You ungrateful, Saina.
And that taught me that, like, I don't need to pour let me not say I don't need to pour all of it, but you got to be particular in who you pour all of that into.
Yes.
And at the same time that you're pouring into them, that they're pointing to you.
Yes.
And that's where I was.
Sometimes we forget that part.
I don't think I knew that part. So,
being worthy of receiving love.
Yeah, I don't think I knew that part.
Yeah. My brain's like in a whirlwind right now.
No, I feel that. That's me right now. I feel like I could touch on so many things. But the actual physical camera throws me. I'm just like, nah, these folks put a face to a name.
They already had the face to a name. They clicked on your Instagram.
But it was
like
just
physically, it's an adjustment. It took me a minute as well. Yeah. It does. It's a bit much.
Because I've been people, my eye been here. I don't even go there.
You ain't even looking at me.
It's just
okay. So the way in which this conversation could go makes me think of. So you had mentioned something about. So what my brain is putting together is that a lot of times what I heard growing up is that like your parents won't divorce each other because they feel as though. Come on, brain. Parents won't divorce each other because they want to make sure that they're showing their kid how to stick through love. But are you teaching us that we're tolerating disrespect in love?
Thank you. Because I was that child. I used to want my parents together.
And this is no disrespect to our parents. Parents, if you're watching this and you see this, we love y'all.
I used to want
big love.
My mom and dad together so bad. Like, please be together. Please be together. Please be together.
Yeah.
I used to tell my mom that all the time. Man, looking back, I'm glad the niggas is apart. I'm glad they separate. Like, y'all two complete different entities because...
Because I've been reading a lot of things, and it's just like, you're not really teaching us that, love, because we know that love isn't always easy. We already addressed that. Right. We know that love has its ups and downs and everything in between. But, like, are you truly tolerating disrespect? And then trying to call it love. And this isn't even just in marriage. Like, you could be with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your partner, whoever.
A friend, a parent. A parent could be tolerating the disrespect. Like, let's get into that real quick.
Let's touch on
because I've been... No disrespect to the parents again.
We love y'all.
I've been with this coming of becoming an adult, 22, and I'm just like, I'm getting things for myself, doing things for myself, and I'm just like, I'm not that, like, I'm not 10, I'm not 14, I'm not 16, like, I'm not no that baby. Same, yeah, I'm not that same child that, like, you had then, like, I'm more mature. I didn't want to wait for school, so it taught me how to do things for myself for a little bit, like, so I'm just like, with that, I feel like a lot of times, and I don't want to say especially in Black households, but, like, my friends is Black, they experienced the same thing, so I'm just like, I don't want to say it's all Black people's experience though, but it's just like the inkling of me becoming more independent or speaking my voice is a sign of disrespect, and I'm just like, pause.
And even you just growing and becoming more independent in itself, they'll literally see that. Like, I had to. So my mom literally just openly admitted, she was like, I am codependent of you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She was like, I am codependent of you. And I'm like, okay. So now that I've addressed, like, me, because I knew I had codependency within my relationships, but thinking about my mom being codependent on me as her daughter. And I'm just like, a lot of the things that happened growing up and how we relied heavily on each other.
Right.
Like, that's my mom. But my mom also kind of relied on me in ways that may not have been the healthiest for a mother-daughter relationship. And it really put our relationship in a bind to where when I did start to, like you said, growing up, becoming more independent, not needing her as much, it was, oh, you don't care about me.
Yeah, and it's like, nah,
oh, you don't need me no more. And I'm like, no, girl, I do. You my mama. Like, I'm always need you. But, like, you have to learn that there's certain things I don't need you to do for me. Like, I can do that on my own. And then learning how to articulate that to a parent in a way that it digests for them, but sometimes it don't even matter how you say it. They're gonna take it how they want. You're disrespectful, like, bro. And it's like, no, I love you, and this is why I'm talking to you this way, and I want you to see the growth that I've made as a human.
Like I want you to see, as a parent, you understood the assignment. You did what you was supposed to do.
Like, look at me.
Like, flaws and all, you did what you was supposed to do. And, like, I ain't out here doing, you know.
Oh, I could be out here doing.
Yeah, but I'm not.
But I'm not. Went to school, got a degree, full-time job. Like,
good. Like,
I'm doing it, but I think they start to take it as in, like we said, the disrespect. And then, for me, do I want to get this deep?
Let's just go there.
There were times to where I would disappoint my mom, and I would feel like she loved me less.
That took me to a place that we're not going to talk about here.
I don't want to get too deep into that. But because I have that mindset, I transfer that into relationships. So it was, let me never disappoint anyone, and they will continuously, like, the love will build. Like, I
let me know if this is too deep.
All right.
Because we don't got to talk about it. Is that how you seen your parents love each other?
Oh.
Because, like, as much as we don't like to admit it, we are our parents. I can't stand admitting I'm like...
Oh, I'm like my daddy.
Like my dad. I can't stand admitting I'm like my mama. When I really look at how I move and function, I'm like, I'm gonna spit an image of y'all. Like, because I learned it from you. I watched it firsthand since I came out the womb. Not even. You was growing me, and I was just experiencing it. Like,
yes. I feel like with the perspective that I had as a child, yes. But now understanding love and relationships now, that's not exactly what it was. Okay. But as a kid, you just see mommy and daddy.
Right.
And now mommy and daddy are mad at each other. Right. And I see that they're treating each other differently, but then nobody's really talking to me about it. Granted, it's probably none of my business.
Right.
But because I am learning and growing, and this is what I'm seeing and receiving, I kind of need to know what's going on. Especially if you're going to argue in front of me.
Because, like, we love acting like these kids don't know.
We know. From a young age.
They know.
From a young age. from a young age.
We knew. Like,
hey, so. Mom, say no. But yeah, I just felt some resolve in my chest from that.
Did it feel good?
It did. It really did. It really did. It did it for me. Recently, I have found myself understanding love differently, and I have set a standard. So because I have set a standard for myself for how I will conduct myself in relationships and friendships anywhere, it has been a, like, not that I was ever dishonest, but I think I would kind of hold back a little bit in fear of the disappointment. Right. But now I'm just like spitting it straight. Like, I'm just saying exactly how I feel, respectfully. Right. But I'm saying exactly how I feel in any type of situation. Like, there was a time where I was hanging out with somebody, I was hanging out with a friend, and they had mentioned, like, oh yeah, me and so-and-so will, like, come over, come hang out, and it's no big deal. And I just was like, okay, but you didn't ask me if I wanted to do that. Right. And so because I love this individual, I knew that I needed to communicate to them that I'm okay, because they even recognized it themselves. They were like, you know, after they got off the phone, they were like, wow, I have realized that I never really even gave you the opportunity to see, like, if that's what you wanted to do. Right. And I was like, I'm cool with it, but, you know, let's just not stay too long, because, like, you know, it wasn't in the plans. But I feel like because I've been able to handle myself like that in love, in the action of love, that I've been receiving that same type of energy back. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it's like, because I'm acting the way that I'm acting, I'm getting back what the standard is.
Ooh, I got a long ways to go with this love.
Where do you think you're at in that scenario?
I think I have gotten a lot better with creating the boundaries with my love. But there's just this part of me that is just so, like, it's fair game.
Unpack that.
Like,
take your time. Sound it out, baby. Take your time.
It's just like, I've gotten better with it, and oddly enough, I'm getting better with it with the people that, like, it was the hardest for me to get better with, like, i.e. my parents, like, because that's my mom and that's my dad. It's just kind of like, you know, anything needed, I was here. Right. And I'm starting to, like I said, now I'm becoming an adult, I'm starting to understand more that, like, no, like, this, my life, I'm not perfect with it, definitely not. But I've gotten better with, like, utilizing, like, no, I can't do that. Not right now.
It's so hard to say no.
Not this time. Not, like, I'm doing me. Like, I've gotten better with it. I'm not perfect with it, but I gotten better. But I also realized that, like, in the sense of being in love with somebody, in the sense of, like, creating an intimate connection with somebody, in the sense of that's my partner, my being, I am not there. Because it all becomes off the table. And even so, it's low-key the same with friends. It just kind of, becomes more off the table.
So you're saying that you don't really know. So you're.
That sounds crazy.
So what you're saying. So what I'm understanding from that is, because you don't know how to set proper boundaries. Yeah. That you decide that being in a relationship right now isn't for you.
No.
I'm just trying to understand. Catch me up, Frank. Catch me up.
Oh, man. Okay. So let me word this better to where it makes more sense. Because, like, when I said it out loud, it didn't even make sense to me.
It's okay. I was trying to make sure I wasn't caught up.
So, like, for me, in this, where I'm at with love, I'm trying to create the boundaries with love.
Okay.
And I feel like this would be a better understanding, because as you started talking, I was like, maybe this might make more sense if I say this. I think for me, creating the boundaries with love has been hard because of the simple fact that, like, I don't know whether I'm worthy of the love that I give people. If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I give a lot of love to people. I don't care what nobody say.
Let them know for
I don't care
him.
what nobody say. Like, I give a lot of love to people. But oftentimes, I don't allow myself to receive that. And with me giving a lot of love and not receiving it, I feel like I've just been so accustomed to, like, that is love for me, is constantly giving and never receiving. So it's hard to say no, because my love has only looked like giving.
Okay, yes.
And to not give is like, Ross, are you showing your love right now? When it's like, sis, all you did was create a boundary. You didn't tell them screw them. Right. You just told them no. But to me, it translates into, I'm terrible. I'm not showing love. Because then I also realized that, like, with love, I shouldn't have to, like, if I tell you no, I shouldn't feel like I have to explain my no. Like, you know, the love ain't lost. But yeah, I find myself as a person, not that anybody ever asked me to explain, but I find myself as a person that with my no comes an explanation-ish.
Like backing up, like, all the reasons as to why it was.
And it's just like, sis, like, you don't gotta do that. It ain't like they like.
Right, it's not like they were like, yeah, so I lost my leg.
Right.
Can you, like, go do this and knowing that you have all the materials and everything to go build it, you were like, no.
Yeah.
It's not that.
But that's how, like, it's kind of, it's not making sense to me, but it's making sense. But I feel like it's just hitting the nerves that I really, I'm not trying to, like, dive into.
That's fine. That's fine. Because I actually wanted to circle the conversation back to self-love. I didn't feel like we
could do that.
We went deep enough into that. We could do that. What does self-love look like? You know,
funny story. It's not funny at all, but it's a funny story. The year was 2021. Fall semester. Shout out to my good sis, my professor. I ain't even gonna put her name in here because, like,
I don't need all that.
Yeah. Good sis. She at Allegheny. If she ever watched this, she know. Good sis. We were in class. It was like a Black Studies class. Black Faith and Thought. Yeah, that's the name of it. And we got into this topic of, like, love. Blase. And I just remember I was in the classroom. I remember me and her were talking back and forth, like, in front of everybody. It was like classroom discussion, but I was a person, like, in the moment speaking. And I remember, like, she asked a general question to the class, but because I had just spoke, and I think because it triggered me, I took it personal. And she said, how do you do self-love then? Like, how do you take care of yourself? And I remember in class, I, like, literally choked up, was about to cry, and I said, I don't know. And I didn't speak the rest of the class. Mindfulness class is like an hour, 15 minutes. I didn't speak the rest of the class. And we had a good hour left. I didn't speak. It was so bad to the point where my friend looked over and was like, I thought I had to give you a hug. And I said, you would have did that, Brody. Like, I'd have definitely knocked you. Like, come on, bro. I appreciate it, though. But it was just like, I don't.
Yeah.
Self-love.
Yeah. Self-love for me has looked like slowing down. I have always been the next thing. That I never really considered how I felt. And I know I just talked about this in the last episode, but literally slowing down for me and seeing what I actually wanted or needed is what has helped me learn how to love myself. And whenever I went on this journey, for one, I had to learn how to love the body that I was in. And so one of my friends gave me, like, their therapist told them, like, get naked, or whenever you get out the shower, stare at yourself in the mirror, like, literally look at yourself in the mirror for like 2 minutes, and then try to increase the time over time. And the first time that I did it, the way that I was so uncomfortable looking at my own self, like my own naked body, it made me hate it even more, because I was like, wow, I don't like myself this much that I can't even look at myself in the mirror. So that let me know where the bar was. And so
it's not funny, but
I mean, I can laugh at it. Like, I've come to the point of being okay and laughing at my own self. And so then it turned into, okay, me looking in the mirror and now speaking affirmations. I am beautiful. I am smart. I am worthy. I am this. I am that. So those were like some of the things that I did to like connect the mental, physical, whatever. But then for me, self-love is putting good food in my body. Surrounding myself with good people. Surrounding myself with people who are motivated and want to keep pushing forward and growing forward and aren't content in the space that they're in. Right. They want to surround myself with people who want to learn. Self-love for me was, okay, I know that I got to get up early and go to work, so maybe I should pack my bag tonight, pack my lunch, get my water prepared. Like, those were certain things for me, but I'm still very much so on the journey of self-love. So that's kind of like all I have to give at the moment, as I'm still learning. But self-love for me was also journaling, meditating, going to the gym, intently taking care of my body, making sure that I'm putting enough water in my body, monitoring my screen time. What? This? Honestly, this podcast has very much so been a form of self-love for me, because I realized, like, shit, we were talking about what year, shit, it was like 2016, 2017, and I did not love myself at all. I did not love myself at all. And I knew I didn't because of how I was acting. Like, when I look back to see how I was conducting myself, I'm like, damn, bitch, like, what was going on? I knew what was going on, but nonetheless, me finding different forms of a healthy expression of self is self-love for me. But I don't know if you got anything to throw in for that one. Where it's a journey. It's a journey. Even if it's just like where I recognize that this is where I need to pour more into myself instead of giving so much of myself out into the world. Right.
I would say the
it was the head shake for me. It was like, no, not that one. Not that one. Not that one.
Nah, sis, not that. Self-love is very this for me. I can say that because they can see me. It's this. I feel like one day, and I know that's with everything, but it just be like, yeah, self-love is very...
It's a journey, and it's definitely an up and down journey, and it takes a lot to put yourself on that journey and stay consistent. Yeah. It's like dating yourself. Yeah. Like, I always talk about all the energy that you will put into somebody else to learn them and be there for them. Like, you literally have to learn to do that for yourself.
And I realized, like, I need to do more of that because I don't do enough of it. And now it's making me realize some other stuff that I'm like, maybe if I...
Maybe if you loved yourself some more, you wouldn't have been in them certain situations.
Not even that. Like, with my current situation, well, I ain't gonna get deep into that. It's not shady. And it's not about them at all. It's just like, I guess like within the current situation, like, I'm not acknowledging that they need to act in self-love and I need to act in self-love. not acknowledging that. And I'm starting to realize that right here, right now. That I'm not allowing them the space to love themselves. Or the things that I be asking for. I don't know how to say it without saying too much. That's too fresh.
Understood.
I'll just leave it there. But basically, I need to act more into this self-love thing. I feel like I have things that, like, I genuinely, like, care about. But I noticed a lot of the times, and I was just telling somebody this, a lot of the times when it comes to me, I'll procrastinate all day. Mm-hmm. So, like, anything that, like, I have to do for self, it'll be procrastinated because the only person that is detrimental to is me. When it comes to me doing stuff for other people, I'm on it. Schedule, got it down packed. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be late. I make sure you get 112%. All that. Because I know it will be detrimental to others, and I can't do that to others. Mm-hmm. But that's toxic because how could you not do it to others, but you're willing to do it to yourself? And I realized that. I haven't changed it. I realized that. I realized that.
The first step is knowing that you have a problem.
I realized that. You loud, friend.
That dog be going off sometimes.
I just haven't gotten to the space of, like, completely changing it.
Yeah. And noticing it is a part of the journey, and then learning from it, changing the action, and then practicing the action.
Right.
Is what it takes to cement it.
Right.
Personally.
And that's the practicing part, because, like, I'll start, because I did this the other day. I was like, I'm about to start this thing because, like, this is what I really want to do for me. Mm-hmm. I'm going to start it because it's for me. Just me. I'm going to start it. As soon as I went to go start, and I did this with, like, probably 3 things over this summer that, like, big things that I wanted to do for myself. Like, me doing it for me. Nobody else. Every time I started it, but the act of continuing it, done. We did step 1. We didn't go on to 1.5 or even 2. We stopped at 1. And it was just like, well, dang.
Yeah.
Who are you hurting, though?
Mm-hmm. Ooh. That brings me to something. Whenever you tell yourself you're going to do something for yourself and you don't, you're building the mistrusting yourself up yourself.
Yeah.
You're teaching yourself that you're not going to be there for yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to let that be the last thing that we're going to speak on for this episode, because I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. I don't know if you are.
This is, like, the only thing I can think in my head is, like, I hope y'all know I love love.
Right. We love lover girls. Definitely heavy lover girls. But I think we address the fact that love doesn't always feel good.
Yeah.
Within reason.
Yeah.
Within reason.
Because, like, don't be out here thinking we saying
tolerate disrespect and bullshit.
You supposed to be out here just dealing with whatever somebody doing. And they say they love you at night. Nah, boo-boo. Because I did that too. Nah, boo-boo.
Yeah, because somebody that punches you in your face every day but then says I love you every night isn't love. And that's either if it's a physical punch or if it's a punch of their words, a punch of their actions, whatever that may be. So
right. My recommendation, even though I'm only in chapter 2 and about to restart because I need to go back to, like, really get a grasp at chapter 1. Bell hooks, all about love. I gotta go back. Chapter 2 gotta go back and grasp chapter 1. Because she just spit to me and I was like, okay, sis.
Heard you. I feel like what I really want to do is build, like, a website for this podcast where it's like an open forum and people can come and, like, talk about certain things that we've spoken about or that I've spoken about in the episode and kind of dig deeper and pull apart more, because I do want this to be more of, like, a community space where we're all learning from each other. But that takes time. Unless somebody want to build it for me for free, hit me up. But nonetheless, Rosslin and I are growing in...
Wait, I'm sorry. But
please.
Like... You know what's so nice?
What's that?
So far, I've been the only guest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in honor of my Usher challenge, we gotta give him a love song.
We gotta give him a love song?
We have to. We must.
Okay.
And it's a we this time. It ain't just a me. It's a we.
So what do you want to do?
I don't know. We gotta think of a song real quick. Oh, I can't sing. I can sing.
We can't sing.
But like, I can't sing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't singing.
A love song?
And all I think about right now. Love. I hope you know that one, right?
Never
so
knew.
Many people.
Oh, that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you down, friend. I've heard it, but I don't know it. I'm sorry.
Okay, take two.
Only thing I got is Keisha Cole.
She tried to sing. Y'all happy with Usher? I don't know about Keisha now.
Okay, because then what I think would be even dope, it matter if there was like a love playlist that came out with the joint. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah,
that would have been.
Yeah,
I'm spitting ideas, facts.
Yeah.
I don't know, friend. Well, you had your love song. That was my love song.
Okay.
Next time.
Yeah.
We'll be better.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for joining us on another episode of The Inside Perspective. We unpacked a lot of things in terms of love of self, love of relationship, parent-child love. It was a lot. And like I said, I'm feeling better now. I'm not feeling as overwhelmed. But
I still feel like real.
It's a little. I'm gonna partake in some activities after this to help myself calm down. But yeah, thank you guys, and I appreciate every episode that y'all tap in and enjoy and implore in my crazy mind with me. But go meditate. If this was also heavy for you, go drink some water and take care of yourself. This is 54 minutes.
I'm dead. It didn't even feel like we talked for that long, to be honest.
Oh,
that felt real.
Bro, I really said lost puppies.